Hello, my name is Billy Nash, and today I will be doing a Microsoft Excel tutorial video on the concatenate function. The concatenate function simply allows you to string lines of text together or two uh, combine text or numbers from two different cells into one cell. So the first example we will do will just be a simple one where we want to combine the first and last name from these two separate cells into a single cell, so we just have the name in one cell versus having it in two cells. Um, and one thing you might think to do versus using the concat function that I have found doesn't work in this situation when combining two cells with text already in them or numbers already in them is just merging the cells. And when you merge the cells, I found that it only keeps the value or the text in the leftmost box. So I'll show you that and kind of why that doesn't seem to work. So we'll merge cells, and then it gives me an alert too. And then there, it's now one cell, those two cells, but it just kept John since it was the leftmost value. So we'll undo that. Now we'll use the concatenate function to actually achieve what we want. So we'll start by typing in an equals and then concatenate. We'll select our function. And now it says first to select text number 1. So that will be the text that comes first. Which one do we want to come first? So say we want to get it, so the last name is first. So it reads Smith John, a little more formal, or that's how often things are organized by last name, or if that's how you're organizing your stuff is by last name. So we'll click Smith first, and then comma, and then John. If we press enter, you can see it gives us a Smith John, but there's no space and it's all just one line, and so that's not quite what we want. So what we can do instead, or also, is we can go back into our function, and we can do that by coming up here into our formula bar, and we'll go here after the first text, and what we can do is if we put quotation marks, a comma, and then a space, and then close the quotation marks, and then another comma, and we now added another, by doing that we added another string of text into the function. So now it'll add, since we put it in quotations, it'll add a comma and a space in between our text 1s and our text 3. So if we hit enter, you now see that it gives us Smith, comma, space John, and that looks a lot better. And that's how we'd want to have our name show up. And then we can simply drag it down, our list of names, and it gives us all the names like that. So that's one example of how we can use the concatenate function to combine names. And now let's go into another example. So here we have a larger set of data, and this is a Superstore's order list of different customer orders and whatnot, and prices and profit associated with it. So now, what can we use the concatenate function in this set of data to do? So we have a bunch of different columns here, and now let's say we have a customer ID and a customer name. Say we wanted the customer ID and customer name to be in one cell, to use on forms, or for whatever reason you just wanted those together. So let's try doing that. So we'll do our function again, equals concatenate, select our function. So let's say we want our customer ID first. So we'll go click our customer ID. Come. And now back to that other example, do we want it all in one continuous line, or do we want a space or a comma or something else in between the two strings of text we're going to combine or concatenate? So let's say we just want we want a dash between them, or a slash mark. Let's do a slash mark. So we can then do quotation marks slash, we'll do space after to give it some room. Let's do a space. Uh-oh. Get rid of that. Let's actually do a space before the slash. That way we got room on both sides. And we'll close our quotations, add another comma, and now we can select our next string of text, which we want the customer name. Alright. And if we press equals or enter, we now have our customer ID slash customer name. So we can have that all in one cell now, instead of having to, if we wanted to combine them, having to go and individually type that in and looking at the screen while doing that. And from here we can even do more. So say we now know that this customer ID is Claire Goot. Say we also want to know where Claire Goot is located, and want that in the cell too. So we wanted to add, say, the city and state. We can do that simply by going into our function bar again, and we'll add a comma to do another string of text, but we want a space in between the name and the city and state. So we will do another comma, space, comma. And we have to do that even if we just want one single space. We have to add it in with commas, or the quotation marks, sorry. And then we'll do a comma to select the next string of text. So we'll select the city, here, Henderson, comma, and then we're going to need another space between Henderson and Kentucky, because we don't want that, again, to be just one string of text. So we'll do quotations, space, close quotations, and comma, and now select the state, Kentucky. We'll press equals. You can see now we have the customer ID slash Claire Goot, Henderson, Kentucky. So we have that all now right there, and let's say we wanted a comma, or we can go back and add in things, anytime, like most Excel functions. So let's put a comma in between last name and city. And there we go. So now we have a comma. In this case, then you can just drag it down, and we'll do it for all the orders here, and we can kind of get a more quick summarized list of data versus kind of trying to follow the rows across for each individual order. And again, just to kind of wrap up, some of the drawbacks with this function are that you can kind of get lost in typing in all the quotations and commas up here, but if you just kind of pay attention to the details, you can use this function in a lot of very helpful ways.